You're gliding down a bike lane at a comfortable clip until your front wheel catches a pavement crack, and physics does the rest. In 2024, more than 118,000 people in the United States were treated in emergency rooms for injuries related to e-scooters, nearly double the number from just 1 year before. Many of those riders are pushing against an invisible ceiling. You buy a scooter with a motor capable of 25 or 30 miles an hour, only to hit an artificial wall at 15. It leads to a common search: how to hack the controller or use an app to bypass the manufacturer's speed limiter. But why would a company build a machine capable of high speeds and then deliberately choke its performance? That 15-mile-an-hour limit is a conflict between your hand on the throttle and a controller chip that has already decided how fast you're allowed to go. The hardware wasn't built for the speeds your motor can technically reach. It starts with the wheels, which on most commuter models are only about 8 inches across. At walking speed, a pothole is a minor jolt. At 25 miles an hour, those small wheels cannot absorb the impact, turning every crack in the street into a potential launch ramp. The braking systems face a similar mechanical wall. When you double your speed, the momentum load increases exponentially, often creating more heat than the small brake pads and discs were designed to shed. Bypassing the limiter also forces the battery and motor controller to run at temperatures that exceed their safety testing. This is why the UL 2272 certification exists. It was developed after the 2015 hoverboard crisis, when cheap battery packs began short-circuiting and bursting into flame in people's living rooms. Hacking your speed forces these components to operate outside the thermal and structural limits they were legally certified to survive. The origin of the 15-mile-an-hour rule traces back to Santa Monica in 2017, when a startup called Bird deployed thousands of scooters onto city streets without a permit. This sudden explosion of shared mobility caught city governments off guard, forcing them to establish safety rules in real time. Regulators landed on 15 miles an hour because of a specific injury threshold. At that velocity, a fall often results in bruises and scrapes. Go faster, and the data shows a sharp increase in fractures and head trauma. For rental fleets, this limit is enforced by GPS geofences, digital perimeters that automatically throttle the motor. Because there is no single federal law, the U.S. is a patchwork. Florida allows 20 miles an hour, while New York and California hold at 15. The 15-mile-an-hour wall is a compromise between the speed riders want and the data cities use to keep people out of the hospital. The hospital data reveals a specific pattern. Nearly 80% of scooter injuries don't involve cars at all. They come from riders simply falling. That risk is highest for younger riders. People under 14 now account for more than a third of all micromobility-related injuries. There are legal risks as well. Exceeding a scooter's speed limit is treated as a moving violation in many states, carrying the same fines and license points as speeding in a car. This follows a pattern that reaches back a century. Cars and bicycles both arrived with total freedom until injury numbers forced the introduction of speed limits and safety standards. When your scooter refuses to go faster, it is the result of nearly a decade of hoverboard fires and emergency room visits being processed in real time. That chip is a calculation designed to make sure you arrive in one piece.